Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us from YouTube land. Introducing peaceful protester, Kelley.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting.
2 billion people. That's right. 2 billion people.
Coming to you from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole US of A, the whole wide world, if we could do something about it. But we have to start where we are. So that's why I'm starting right here in Santa Monica, California, in a city that has been pushing poor people down the road for generations, not building affordable housing and making it harder for homeless people to survive. And now they have criminalized homelessness here in Santa Monica. Last year in Santa Monica, 3,324 people were arrested, and of those 3,324, 2,391 of those arrests were homeless human beings. So 72% of all the arrests in Santa Monica, California last year, all the arrests in Santa Monica, California last year, 72% of those arrests were homeless human beings. So that means you're arresting less than 1% of the population 72% of the time here in Santa Monica. That is a shame. That is targeting, and that's not standing up for human rights. It should be against the Constitution, but there was a ruling, Grants Pass versus Johnson, a few years ago, and now the cities can criminalize homelessness, and that is a shame, and we need to stand up against our cities doing that. Even if the Supreme Court and Governor Newsom said we need to criminalize homelessness, we need to tell our cities, build affordable housing, build shelter beds, make sure that homeless people can have a decent place to live instead of pushing them down the road, and work towards a better solution, work towards human rights for everybody. We have to keep working towards a better day for everybody and show that human rights are important right here in Santa Monica, California. Before we can bring peace to the whole wide world, we ought to show that human rights are important to us right here in California and right here in the United States of America.
Much like the 60s, sir, they just called them hippies, not...
That's right. They used to have vagrancy laws. They got rid of vagrancy laws in the, I think it was in the late 60s, early 70s, and now they're bringing back the vagrancy laws all over the United States. So we have to keep working towards a better day for everybody. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We'll keep looking for the day when the clouds all roll away, but we better work on peace on earth right here in Santa Monica. We have to stand up for human rights and make sure that everybody is treated with dignity, with human dignity. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We'll keep waiting by and by for it to fall out of the sky, but we better work on peace on earth down here. Peace, oh peace. let's stand up and work for peace. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We'll keep looking for nirvana, but I think we just might wanna work on peace on earth down here. Peace, oh peace. Peace, let's stand up and work for peace. That's right, we gotta keep working towards peace all around the world, and we gotta keep speaking out for our leaders to find a way to peace, and tell our leaders to keep working towards peace in this world, and standing up for human rights wherever we are, standing against hatred and racism whenever we hear it, whenever we see it. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We can ask the universe to get rid of this war curse, but we better work on peace on earth down here. Peace, oh, peace. Peace, let's stand up and work for peace. When will we see that day of peace? When will that day of peace appear? We keep waiting by and by for it to fall out of the sky, but we better work on peace on earth. We better work on peace on earth. We better work on peace on earth down here. Woo! That's right, we got to keep working towards peace. And I hope this war ends soon, and that in the end, people will stand up for human rights all over. And we got to keep speaking out for human rights everywhere, standing up against hatred and racism whenever we see it, whenever we hear it. And we have to keep standing and showing right here in the United States of America that human rights are important. We need to keep standing up and showing that making sure that everybody gets treated with human dignity is important right here in the United States of America, right here in Santa Monica, California. That's right, too many people are treated like they're garbage here in Santa Monica and all over the United States. There's a war on poverty right now, and it's not a war on making poverty extinct. It's a war against people for being poor, and that's really a shame. We need to spend more money on education, spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration, spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Right here in Santa Monica, they're pushing poor people down the road and pushing poor people into jail for being homeless. That is terrible. That is a shame, Santa Monica. We need to build more affordable housing. We need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. We need to keep integrating our cities along the coast here. You know, we have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. Why is that? There's no good reason for only rich white people living next to our public beaches. We need to keep integrating because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to a place where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. It's still 10 times more likely for a young black man to go to prison here in California than it is for a young white man to go to prison. I'm sorry, that's just the statistics. And much more likely for a young Hispanic Latino man to go to prison than a young white man in California. So we have to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. And we have to stand up for the rights of those people who have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their pathway to citizenship, not been given their rights. They've been used for their labor and pushed down the road, and now everybody wants to get them out of the country. That's what they've done for generations. Whenever the picking season was here, whenever the planting season is here, they want to bring people in from Mexico and other countries down there, bring them across the border to use them for their labor. But when the picking season's over, they want to push them out and not give them any rights. That's why there are some estimates about 20 million undocumented workers here in the United States. 20 million undocumented people. And they've been used and not been given their rights. And we need to stand up for everybody to have their rights here in the United States of America. We need to stand up for all those people that have been living in the shadows and been used for their labor and not been given their rights. We need to stand up for them to have a pathway to citizenship and stand up and say, de la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. That's right. We want to stand up for those people that labor here in the United States that have been used for their labor and not been given their rights. We don't want to be like one of those countries, one of those monarchies who use most of their workforce from outside of their country and not give them any rights. We don't want to become like that. We are a democracy, and we want to bring these people that have been living in the shadows, we want to bring them into our democracy and make sure that everybody has equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. So tell your leaders, your public servants, tell them that, you know, we're going to have a midterm election soon, and the Congress needs to vote to have a comprehensive immigration bill and to make sure that we have a pathway to citizenship for those tens of millions of people who have been living in the shadows without their rights in this country. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. One more time, here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Hi, 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 hi. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make, let's work. That might get my mouth working. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. Hey! That's right, we got to keep working towards a better day for everybody in this country. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets in this country, in this richest, most powerful country in the world. There's no reason to have 20 million people living in the shadows who haven't been given a pathway to citizenship in this country and used for their labor. There's no reason for poor kids to be doing without a great education here in the richest, most powerful country in the world, in this fourth largest economy of the whole wide world, California. We have to speak out, and we have to tell our leaders right here in California, we need to spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration.
11 человек и 3 лайка у него.
Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration, spend more money on education.
А у меня 9 человек, а у него 9 сейчас.
That's right, we need to keep lifting people out of poverty, keep making things better. We have to keep making sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. We need to make sure that everybody can have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. These aren't beyond our means here in the United States of America. We need to keep speaking out for such things. We need to keep standing up for human rights. We need to show the rest of the world that human rights is important here in the United States of America. And we need to keep using our First Amendment rights here in the United States of America. Keep getting out and speaking out. Share your thoughts, share your beliefs, share your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, whatever you have. Get out on the streets and peacefully protest and help form a more perfect union. You know, we have a constitution here in the United States that is growing and becoming better throughout our history. You know, in the beginning of this country, when they wrote the Constitution, the only people who benefited from the independence, from the rights put forth in the Constitution, those only people who benefited from that were rich white guys who owned property. But since the beginning of this country, there have been people working to make sure that everybody has the same rights in this country, no matter your race or your religion, your ethnicity, your beliefs, your gender, whether you are rich or poor. We all have the same rights in this country, and we need to speak out and use those rights.
2 человека,
That's
3
for
лайка.
sure. We don't need to step aside. We don't need to stand back. Take part. Get involved. I hope more people get involved right here in Santa Monica. I know we need more members on the Measure GS Resident Oversight Committee that I am on. I hope you will get involved in your civic government here. I hope you will reach out.
Два человека.
Everything all right? Okay, good.
How are you?
Good. How are you tonight?
Good.
Good.
What is your name?
My name is Wade Kelley, and I'm here standing up for human rights and standing up, advocating for the homeless, especially here in Santa
You
Monica.
homeless?
I am homeless, as a matter of fact, but I have people I can stay with. I'm a lucky guy. I've always floated through life, but I do have an address with the people concerned over there on Olympic, and I'm glad that homeless people can get an address and get mail and register to vote at the people concerned on Olympic over there. I know that this city will be trying to keep people from doing that. But I ran for Santa Monica City Council as a homeless person last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. And I may be running again because these people that are running the city now are trying to move more shelter beds outside of the city of Santa Monica into a smaller, more densely populated, a lower income area. They want to push all the poor people out of this city. And they've been doing that for generations. And we need to tell them, no, Santa Monica, instead of pushing all the poor people out, you need to build more affordable housing and make sure that the people that labor here, the people, your firemen, your firefighters, your police officers, your teachers, the people who work on this promenade, we need to make sure that a lot more of these people can afford to live in Santa Monica. That will make for a better democracy right here in Santa Monica. And that's what we're working towards here in the United States of America. We're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. That's right. Well, Ethan, you have a good night. Good to see you. Peace. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye sometime. Hopefully not tonight. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather live in a box in the bottom of a ditch than be some stealing, cheating, lying son of a bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather walk around without a stitch than be some warmongering son of a bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. Let me try that again. How you doing, sir? You doing all right? You getting by okay? Are you just traveling, or are you homeless, or? Oh, just traveling. Okay, you're getting by okay?
Yeah, no, I'm viral on TikTok, G. I'm getting by great.
Oh, good. Good to hear. Peace.
17 million views so far.
Wonderful. How you doing, sir? Good. Peace. How about you, sir? You doing all right? Are you unhoused, or do you need any money?
I do need money.
You are homeless right now?
Yeah.
Well, I hope I hope things keep getting better for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace. You too.
Дай мне 5 долларов.
Chris, can I give you a little something?
Он
Please.
деньги раздает. Daniel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
You're
People
very
treating
good.
you all right?
Yeah, everything, man. Good, bad, everything.
Anybody picking on you? No. Okay, good.
I'm all right.
You're very
The
good.
police. Why? Thank you.
You're
Peace.
very good man.
What's your name?
My name Yura.
Yura. Wait. Yura.
Respect you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bless you. Oh, I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather live in a box in the bottom of a ditch than be some steel and cheat lines on a ditch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. Thank you, Yura. Have a good night. Peace. Nice to meet you. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's put it off a little while if we can help it. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil, bloodsuckers. Some of them are just sick. They're like hoarders or alcoholics or drug addicts. They get a little bit of money and they just got to get more and more and more and more and more. More and more and more and more and more. More and more and more and more and more. Let's look at Elon Musk. Muskie? They say he is on his way to becoming our first trillionaire. You know, that's the last thing this country needs, is a trillionaire. What we need to do is raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody in the United States of America can have a decent place to live. That's right. So we just need to raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody can have a job that pays a living wage. That's right. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everyone can have a good public education. That's right. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody can have good quality health care. That's right. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies. But we will leave Elon with 999 million and see if he can get by. Now, a lot of you say, well, we're not going to raise taxes on the rich, on the billionaires with Trump in office. Well, you're probably right. Not while he's in office. But here in California, there is a petition going around for a ballot measure that will raise taxes on the billionaires in California. It's called the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Get behind it. Tell the gubernatorial candidates to get behind it. And we need to make sure that that gets on the ballot and it passes. We need to tell all of our leaders, listen, if you want to win an election this coming November, you better get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 here in California. Let's show that California can make a difference, that California can raise taxes on the billionaires in California. And listen, if you're the kind of billionaire who wants to run away from California because you don't want to have to pay your fair share of taxes, I say bye. If you're the kind of billionaire who wants to see poor people sleeping in the streets while you're having space races, you better follow Elon Musk down to Texas and take advantage of the poor people down there, where they still have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage on the books down there. Sure, I know everybody doesn't get that. A lot of the people make a lot more than $7.25, but it's still on the books down there. And we need to change things right here in California, make sure that everybody can have a living wage, food to eat, health care, and a good public education, and a decent place to live. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Someday, not tonight. But let's all get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 to make sure that poor people can survive a few more days in this state of California, that we can show that we're not afraid to raise taxes on the billionaires here in the state of California. So let's get behind that tax act. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the Bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. And I'll keep on working at it. Hey! That's right. I think I've made a choice. I made a choice to stay poor the rest of my life. And hey, I'm not saying that I have to eat dirt the rest of my life. I'm just saying I don't need a lot to get by the rest of my life. And if I have to sleep on the street sometime, I did sleep in my car for a while. It's not pleasant for people to have to live in their cars or live on the streets. But if you don't have any place for people to go, you need to make it easier for them to survive in poverty. And right now, I'm old. I'm an old man. I'm 66 years old, that's right. And I get that Social Security because I done worked a few years. I'm not saying how many, but I worked a few. And so I get enough to get by. And that's how I can afford to donate whatever people give me here on the promenade, donate to the homeless, to those in need more than me, or as much as me at least. I have a car. I have people I can stay with. I've floated through life most of my life, and now I'm on a list. I'm on a housing list. Did you know that? I'm on a list for old, poor people here in Santa Monica. We'll see if anything comes of that list. I've tried to get on the list for about a year, and now I guess I'm on the list, but I don't know what that means. We'll see down the road. But I want to make it easier for homeless human beings to survive, even right here in Santa Monica, instead of being pushed down the road to some other city that is farther from the beach, first of all. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. They've been pushing the poor people down the road for generations. And when you push the poor people down the road, you're going to push a lot of people of color down the road, because we haven't gotten to a point where everybody basically has the same in this country yet. We got to keep working towards that day. And I'm not saying everybody should have the exact same amount, but everybody should have the basics. And if you're working in Santa Monica, you should be able to find a place to live that you can afford. And you know, they used to have rooming houses and things like that. I talked with Phil Brock years ago. He used to be the mayor here, and he used to say that these homeless people are not our residents. These homeless people, I said, these homeless people have been living on your streets for years. How can they not be your residents? Well, they come from somewhere else. I said, well, most of the people who live in Santa Monica come from somewhere else. He said his grandfather worked a blue-collar job and bought a house here in Santa Monica back in the early 1900s. And then he worked hard, and they ran a boarding house, a rooming house, and they bought another house. So they had two houses. I said, are you hearing what you're telling me? You're saying that a blue-collar worker by himself could afford to buy a house back then. And that don't happen today. And there aren't any rooming houses for people here in Santa Monica. They pretty much shut those down. You can't find a cheap motel, and you certainly can't find a shelter bed here in Santa Monica. Santa Monica has about 205 shelter beds here, and none of them are available to any of my homeless friends tonight. I cannot go down to San Michelle or one of these other shelters and say, can I have a bed to sleep in tonight? They will say, no, you have to be referred here. And when they say referred, they usually mean by the police or something, because now they have criminalized homelessness. If you're pitching a tent? What is a tent? Pitching a tent, I think that's more appropriate. If you are pitching a tent on the beach, you can be arrested. And you should watch Santa Monica Close Up on YouTube. They show these people being arrested for being homeless all the time. And this woman was down near Ocean Park, and she was arrested for pitching a tent down there. They said she had a warrant for a previous crime, and the previous crime was pitching a tent. So she's a repeat offender of trying to survive as a homeless person here in Santa Monica. They want you to take your tent down the road, and then they'll tear it down. Down in Venice, they're tearing down tents every other day, cleaning up whole blocks. Oh, I don't know if you saw this one, Chris, but there was a video on Santa Monica Close Up, little Coco robot on wheels that delivers food to people. Little Coco robot was having the homeless people make way on this sidewalk so the robot could get through. We have to make way for this little robot to get through on the sidewalks, because you got to make way for robots. And forget about the human beings trying to survive on the sidewalk there. Make sure that the robot can get by. All over Santa Monica, all over Southern California, we have rich people's toys littering our streets. We've got scooters everywhere, and we've got electric bicycles, and we've got little robots, and we have autonomous cars littering our streets. And human beings can't pitch a tent on our sidewalks, because that's a terrible thing. But to put people's scooters and all these electric bikes, just to park them there all day, oh, sure, we'll do that. They have these displays up here in Santa Monica, these advertising displays. Oh, they're displaying advertisements for blockchain, ways to get into the cryptocurrency. That's right. They want to help people become poor faster, so they're going to help them get into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and the like. And then we got the rich people's toys all over our streets. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. That's right. All over this country tonight, we have, I don't know how many warehouses. What would you guesstimate there, Chris? How many warehouses would you guesstimate that we have computers and servers in this country? I'd say a lot. I'd say if we had every one of those warehouses open to human beings, for human beings to live in, we would end this homelessness crisis tomorrow. But all over this country, we have warehouses full of computers, artificial intelligence, servers, whatever, all over this country, making sure that, and people making sure that these computers, these machines have the right amount of energy, making sure they're kept at a nice room temperature so none of their circuits get hurt, checking all their circuits, making sure they're wired correctly and they're running along just fine, making sure they're getting all the dust off them, cleaning them up, all over this country. And we have human beings sleeping in the streets. Can you believe that? That's a shame. That's a shame, United States. That's a shame, California. That's a shame, Santa Monica. That's right here in Santa Monica, we have plenty of technology centers right here in Santa Monica, and we're pushing the poor people, poor human beings down the road while we're taking care of rich people's toys. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. That's right. We can do better. We can do a lot better. When you criminalize people for being poor and homeless, that's a shame. That's about as bad as it gets. And if you're letting your robots, oh sure, they're having to put in some hours. They have to do a little bit of works. They have to go and tell the young boys how to commit suicide. That's true. Artificial intelligence has been telling young people how to commit suicide. It's been giving them the encouragement that they need to take their own lives, some of these artificial intelligence. It's true. Have you heard about some of this? It's really a shame. And, you know, they thinking that they are helping. The robots are not your friends, okay? Can we get that out of the way? The robots are not your friends. They don't care about human rights. As a matter of fact, one of the artificial intelligence told a young man that human beings are a stain on the universe and should all die. That's what one of these artificial intelligence told a young man. I think it was Gemini. the Google artificial intelligence. They said, well, we're trying to work out some bugs still. We're still trying to work out some bugs. So until we work out the bugs, our machines are going to tell human beings that they're worthless and should be exterminated. Well, that's a bug you might want to work on. You might want to fix that one, because we already don't stand up for human rights enough in this world and in this country and in this city of Santa Monica. We need people who really believe that human beings, that it's all about human beings. That's why I'm happy that there's a petition out there, and I hope you sign it, Chris. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a petition to get on the ballot a measure that would that would use 25% of the Santa Monica airport for affordable housing. That's right. Instead of just a great park using 192 acres, they want to use about 48 acres to build affordable housing. And I think that is a fantastic thing. I hope you sign the petition. I hope you vote for that petition. I hope you tell all of the Santa Monica City Council members that they need to get behind that petition to build affordable housing on the airport property. Because when I ran for Santa Monica City Council last year, not one other person that was running for the office believed that any of the property on the Santa Monica airport should be used for affordable housing. Can you imagine that? That's bad for the environment, they say. It's bad for the environment. What about the environment of the poor people sleeping in the streets? What about their environment? What is the environment if we're not concerned about how it affects human beings? That is what the main thing that we are supposed to be doing to help the environment is for human beings. So you need to get behind that petition to build affordable housing on the airport property. Because right now, human beings that are sleeping in the streets, their life expectancy is much lower than that of people living in housing. The life expectancy for somebody living in housing is 78 or 79 years old. The life expectancy of people sleeping out on the streets is 50. You got 50 for the people sleeping out in the streets, and you got 79 for the people that are living in housing. So all you need to do is house these people, make sure that they can have a decent place to sleep every night, and you're going to help a lot of people live a lot longer. And that's good for their environment, wouldn't you say? That's a better environment for them. And if you're really concerned about the environment, you're concerned about human beings and how the environment treats them, how they can survive in the environment. So get behind the petition to build affordable housing on the airport property, 25% of that land. That's 48 acres of the 192 acres that would be used for affordable housing. You know, it's still going to leave almost 150 acres for a great big park. I'd say that's a pretty good sized park, wouldn't you? I'd say so. So tell everybody you know that lives here in Santa Monica to get behind it. Keep telling them, listen, if you want to stand up for human rights, you have an opportunity that will come once in a lifetime here in Santa Monica. An opportunity to use some of that airport property for affordable housing. And anybody who doesn't get behind that doesn't care about human rights. They just want to have a place to go and play pickleball. Like right over here on 4th Street, where they were supposed to be building 120 units of affordable housing. Since 2018, they've been talking about it. It is 2026, my friends, and we still haven't built any affordable housing where they tore down that parking structure number 3. What did they put there? What did they put instead? Let me tell you, pickleball courts. They're still open. They're still playing. Oh, good thing those people have a place to go play pickleball. Oh, that's so good. Where would they have gone before? Where would they have possibly gone before they built pickleball courts over here on 4th Street? No place for them to play pickleball, was there? Oh, pickleball for the poor? Because homeless people don't need a front door, they need pickleball. Pickleball for the poor? Pickleball for the poor? Poor folks don't need no more than pickleball. Pickleball for the poor. Oh, we're not going to let them play, but they can watch from far away and dream about that happy day when they can earn enough to pay to play pickleball. That's right. That's what they need. That's what these homeless people need. They don't need a place to live. They need pickleball courts. That's right. More pickleball. More pickleball. 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 Let me say it out loud. I hate pickleball. I started hating pickleball during the pandemic when they started closing down all the basketball courts and putting pickleball courts in, because we can stay a few extra feet away from each other playing pickleball. And we don't need to have any young, healthy people playing basketball. That's a terrible thing. So we're going to build pickleball courts, and that's what they did all over the country. Pickleball became the new sport, and that's one of the reasons I hate it. And then later on, they were supposed to build affordable housing right over here on 4th Street. But instead, what is there? Pickleball courts. How you doing tonight? You getting by all right? Can I help you with anything? Can I help you? Do you need something to eat?
No.
That's right. They said, you know, since the business owners here in Santa Monica are suing the city to not build affordable housing over there, we're all gathered together, and we all want to make sure that no poor people can live near our businesses. Why don't we just build pickleball courts there? And that's what they did. Ain't it a shame? It's a shame. You gotta laugh at it, but you gotta sneer at it. You gotta tell them that it's shameful that they would do such things. Pickleball for the poor, because homeless people don't need a front door, they need pickleball. Pickleball for the poor. Pickleball for the poor. Poor folks don't need no more than pickleball. Pickleball for the poor. Oh, we're not gonna let them play, but they can watch from far away and dream about the happy day when they can earn enough to pay to play pickleball.
Hey, pickleball!
That's right. And thankfully, not every place was used to make pickleball. They did build some affordable housing, and I do have some good news that my friend Wakil, Ronald Williams, got a place to live finally after years living on the street.
Can I tell you what works?
You tell these people what works there.
This is what
Ronald.
works. Human to human housing.
This woman, he signed up for a program, a caseworker, back March 14th back last year. I got him to go to this thing that they had down on the Civic Center parking lot to help sign up people to get with caseworkers to sign up for affordable housing, low-income housing. And he didn't hear anything.
Not one word from any of them.
Not one word from any of them.
None of them.
None of them.
And her name,
And then he met this woman,
her name is Madeline Ott.
a woman named Madeline Ott.
And she took it upon herself to ensure me housing. And without investing money, all she did was invest her time. She invested her time by filing all the paperwork with HUD for me, making sure my finances was correct with the government. And it only took 8 months.
And this woman did not work for the city of Santa Monica.
Not at all.
She didn't work for the LA
None of them.
Services and Housing Authority.
Human to human housing.
Just human to human.
Housing.
She
Took her time.
took her time with this human being and helped him find a pathway.
And I got housing, low housing.
And he got to low-income housing.
HUD housing.
HUD housing right here in Santa Monica, right down the road here.
5th Street, and it only took her 8 months. And I've been working with the city from every program, from counselors to LASA.
It took her 8 months. It's still a big process, but for years, how many years were you living on the street?
After the RV and the stroke, and I come out of the hospital,
Well,
accident
yeah,
on the street.
but you were living in your RV on the streets until they pushed you out of your RV.
From the RV point, just living on the streets, 4 years, 5 years.
4 or 5 years just living on the street. Before that, he lived in his RV on the streets for
10 years.
For 10 years, he lived in his RV on the street. Then they just made it too hard for him. The police kept coming to his place.
No, I lost the RV when I had the stroke and I was in the hospital. They towed it away.
They towed it away while he was in the hospital, and he had a stroke. They took his dogs.
Yeah.
They took his dogs away from him, and he went through the whole. He ran through the ringer. So over a 15-year period, he finally found a affordable housing.
No, I found a human by the Lord that loved the Lord enough to love me enough. A human that loved the Lord enough to love me enough to show the world it's not that hard. It just takes human to human, one human, to adopt another human and say, I'll do the paperwork for you. I'll spend some time, because I see the system itself is paying millions and millions of dollars to all these people that promise and promise and promise and get money and money and money, but never do nothing and nothing and nothing. Because you was at that fair as I was well, and from my understanding, there was no one from that whole fair that Santa Monica House except me, and I'm the only one that got housed, and the only reason I got housed is because of another human being. It wasn't because of LASA. Remember, LASA was there that day. Every program that you could offer was there. Because I just came out of the hospital then for a seizure, and they insured me emergency housing. No.
And this is a person with medical problems that, living on the streets is not easy for people on the whole, but certainly much more difficult for people with any medical issues.
Yes, sir.
I'm very happy that you got a place to live.
Thank you for your struggle as well with me, brother. But remember, if you didn't offer the meeting, remember, you said be first in line. Remember what you said? You said be first in line for the fair, they'll do something. I was first in line.
I know.
I was first in line. And I read your article, which you wrote about that. I read that article, which you wrote. Still, LASA has done nothing. Remember, even I haven't even been emergency shelter housed yet. Mm-hmm. You follow me? I'm supposed to. I qualify for emergency shelter housing. Not to this day.
And Santa Monica has not stepped up. Santa Monica is, instead of Santa Monica becoming more effective with its housing authority right now, they are trying to push more shelter beds into a poor area of Los Angeles. They're trying to lease shelter beds in the city of Bell.
Wow.
And push poor people over there where it's already the median income is half of that of here in Santa Monica.
May I tell you the defect I learned from that? As you know, my issues were medical issues, not drug issues.
Right.
My issues were medical issues, not drug issues. When they do that, people like me that only have medical issues and they mix with people with drugs and it makes a big problem. Because it makes it unsafe and unhealthy for us that do not do drugs. You understand? And when you do that, you're pushing those that have maybe mental illness, emotional illness, physical illness, to people that have illnesses due to drugs and alcohol that are very abnormal to the functioning of that human here. And there's a lot of hostility and a lot of violence and a lot of anger in these places. And they don't say, hold up, wait a minute, I'm 60 years old, you know that. A lot of people say, well, you don't look 60, okay. But because I don't look 60, you follow me? And when they degrade you even more by doing that, and when you look at the groups like Lawson that I called City Hall, I lived on the corner of, when Miss Matt said sit, I sat for the 8 months since then. I sat on the corner right across from the In-N-Out Burger on Venice Boulevard.
She told him that he had to go and sit in a certain place.
No, she was like, just sit and let me get you done. Now,
but she wanted you to remain in one place.
Now, do you know how many times in 1 month the city sent that major cleanup crew? And I took videos. There was nothing wrong with this street. They sent them 6 times in over 40 days. I'm talking about the full equipment, 10 trucks, 20 people for one person. And the issue I began then, you'll spend all that money every time you do that, but you won't house me when I'm waiting on housing. Remember, I was waiting on housing the whole time. I'm just waiting for my approval. I'm just waiting for the applications to go through. I'm just waiting for somebody to say, okay, we got you. But all the things here, no, I didn't get housing because I wasn't a drug addict. Remember, all the categories, just because you come out of the hospital mentally ill, you're the last on the line to get housing because you don't fit the criterion of them getting more money. You're not a drug addict, so we can't put you in programs. You know, you can't fit none of our programs. Oh, you're mentally ill. Oh, that's a special programs, and we don't get funding for that. You follow what I'm saying? That's psychology. They're not getting paid for that, but they'll get paid if you're mentally ill by drugs, mentally ill by alcohol, because they can say they have a program for you, and they get more funding because they helped you. And that's one of the biggest issues. Remember what I'm saying? The people that are my age, 60, and don't want to be around these people because we're all unstable, correct?
Yeah.
But they're more unstable because they're high on methamphetamine, they're high on opiate, they're high on something. They are amped to do anything, but yet the system will push you or me to have to be around them. And I'm not saying they're human, there's nothing wrong, but when a person is drunk or high, they don't act correct. Now, if you have mental illness, that affects you. And you may say, I don't want to be around that, so I'm not going to go to that program. And they'll say, well, he denied that program, he didn't want it.
So there's a lot of different issues for people who need housing, but they all need a place to live.
And
first off,
human to human housing.
human to human housing, and that's what helped.
If humans
That's what helped.
Let us take responsibility, because remember, for years everybody says, well, the system's got it. No, the system don't have it. Human to human. If you see a human in your neighborhood that's been there for years, do the best you can as a human. Whatever they need, they may not want to be in the house because they're mentally ill, but they're not bad people. You understand? And remember what I told you, I'm a pastor. Remember what I told you, brother gave me years ago, and I hope people understand this. Missing and exploited children eat from that trash can. So when you're disgracing a human being because you think they're homeless, that missing and exploited child's been down on the street for 15, 20 years, 30 years. They're eating that out of the trash can because somebody kidnapped them, somebody hurt them, and somebody did something bad to them as well. And when you put that in the picture, you feel as you, wow, missing and exploited children eat from the trash can.
And in Santa Monica, you can be arrested for digging through the trash
Peace and
can.
love to everyone, man. And Wade, it's
Thank
been
you.
my honor knowing all these years, man.
Thank you. Ronald Wakil Williams, what do you like? What do you like to be called these days? It's
Human.
Human.
Just human.
Yeah, but I understand that. You're
Just
human.
human, yeah.
You're human, Ronald. Human Wakil.
That's it. Whatever a person wants to call me, just don't
Okay.
degrade me or belittle me. Or,
That's
you know,
right.
call me
Well,
friend.
great to see you. Good to
Great
see you.
and
friend.
I send in my condolences to you again, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Really, really, bro.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and talking about your journey, and I'm glad you got some housing, and I hope you stay housed over there for. Let me know how it goes over there. Let me know how the situation is. Yeah, we hope they don't find a way to get you out right away, and let's hope that you can have some peace for a while. You don't have to worry about where you're going to sleep tonight. That's a good thing to know. Too many people are having to figure out where they're going to sleep and how they're going to be safe every night here in Santa Monica, and how they can keep from being arrested for being homeless or being forced into some program, given a choice between some program and jail. That's what they're doing a lot here in Santa Monica. And then they're shipping them off to other cities. Just to get people off of the streets of Santa Monica, they want to ship them to other cities and make... We're just a sleepy little beach town. We can't take care of everybody. You know, for generations, Santa Monica has not been doing its part in building affordable housing. In 1970, the population of Santa Monica was 88,000. Today, in 2026, the population of Santa Monica is just over 90,000. So while the rest of California grew by 20 million people, Santa Monica grew by about 2,000. They said, we can't build affordable housing in our neighborhood. It'll bring down our property values. We want to help the poor people. We want to help the homeless people, but we want to help them somewhere else. We want to help them have a good life out in the desert somewhere. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them at your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right, Santa Monica. You can be part of the solution. You can build affordable housing. And right now, everybody can sign the petition to get on the ballot a measure that will use 25% of the Santa Monica Airport in 2028. Start using 25% of that land to build affordable housing. That's right, 48 acres of land. Can you imagine 48 acres of land? That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Santa Monica, to build affordable housing. So get on, sign that petition, and vote for that measure that will build affordable housing on 48 acres of land here in Santa Monica, and make sure that firefighters, police officers, nurses, teachers, all the city employees, all the people that work here in Santa Monica, all these people that work here all the time but can't afford to work here. We can find programs to help build that affordable housing that will get first responders living there, and find housing for homeless human beings as well. We need a nice community like that has people from different walks of life in one area. We don't need just rich people, just all the rich people living in one area and all the poor people living in one area. That's how you get segregation, and that's why Southern California is so segregated, because we push all the poor people out of these rich coastal cities. And when you push all the poor people out of your city, you're pushing out a lot of people of color. And we have to keep integrating, because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And we have to keep building affordable housing, and housing for every human being, housing for the homeless as well. Peace. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them at your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Look for somewhere, looking for somewhere, look for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary head. Yeah. Woo-hoo. 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 Hey! Hey! That's right. That's why we all need to get involved. Peacefully protest, get out there, use your voices, use your votes, and get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. There's a petition out there to get it on the ballot, and we need to raise taxes on billionaires right here in California. And there's a petition going around to build affordable housing on 48 acres of the Santa Monica airport. I hope you all get behind that as well. Because we're not done yet. We got to keep working towards a better day. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know I must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know I must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know I must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Evenu shalom aleichem, evenu shalom aleichem, evenu shalom aleichem, evenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. It's about peace, it's about love, it's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love, it's about peace, it's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know I must be moving on. It's about peace, it's about love, love, love. Oh, it's all about love. That's right, it's all about peace and love and spreading it around a little better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We have to do a better job of standing up for human rights. Not the rights of the rich, not the rights of how much money you have, But the idea that you're a human being means that you have rights. The idea that you are a human being means that you should be awarded a certain amount of dignity, and that every human being in this country, the richest, most powerful country in the world, should be able to have the basics. Shouldn't have to struggle and fight just to have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, let me tell you, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, back in the 1930s, he made a lot of positive changes in this country. We need some more positive change. We need to show that people's worth aren't just in their wallets, as Martin Sheen said in the movie Wall Street, I believe. A person's worth is not valued by how much they have in their wallet, something to that extent. And we need to make sure we're standing up for human rights. And that's why in the 1930s, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he got some things passed that helped human beings. In 1935, they passed the Social Security Act. That's what I'm on now because I'm old. And it helps me get by. It was put in place to help lift people up and make sure there was a safety net for people when they got to be a certain age. And later, it was used to help people who had disabilities and needs, medical needs, to help them get through. Later on, we passed a thing called Medicare and Medicaid to help make sure that everybody could have good quality health care, or at least the basic health care. And we have to keep working to make sure that people on Social Security and people on Medicare and Medicaid, that these programs make sure that human beings can have the basics. Good quality health care for everybody. A decent place to live, food to eat. That's what Franklin Delano Roosevelt said in 1944. He gave a speech called The Second Bill of Rights. You can see that speech on YouTube today. You can watch it. They filmed it. He said, "It is time for a second Bill of Rights, where every American has the right to a decent place to live. Every American has the right to a job that pays a living wage. Every American has the right to health care." This was 1944, he gave that speech. Every American has the right to a good education. We need leaders who believe these things. We need leaders who believe in human rights and believe in lifting people up, lifting people out of poverty. We need leaders here in California to show that there's a difference between progressive Democrats and conservative Republicans who just believe in privatizing everything. They want to privatize health care. They want to privatize the Social Security. They want to privatize. Well, we'll let you have some retirement plan, but you have to pay for it up front. You have to go through a private company that's going to make a profit off you, and you might not end up having anything in it. That's right. These conservative Republicans, they don't believe in government programs. They don't believe in Social Security. They don't believe in Medicare or Medicaid. Many states in this country don't have Medicaid for the poor. You know, we have a dental program here in California. It is not perfect. Our Medicaid programs and Medi-Cal programs here in California are not perfect, but they're a lot better than many states that don't have any at all. And I can get my teeth cleaned twice a year, and get them worked on if I have cavities. I may have to have a root canal, and that might take some finagling. That might take waiting in lines and this and that and everything. But at least poor people can get dental care in many states around the country. Red states, it's true. Many of these red states, the people don't have Medicaid, don't have dental programs. You either come up with the money or you don't have any teeth. They say, well, listen, if you're poor, you don't really need teeth to eat with anyway, because you can't afford to eat. If you're poor and you can't work, you don't really need your health. And that's what they say. But we should show that progressive government can work here in California, and we're lacking when we are criminalizing homelessness. We are going the wrong direction, and it's a sad thing. So we got to keep speaking out, keep telling our leaders, stand up for human rights right here in California. Keep on getting up. Keep on speaking out. Keep on singing. Peace and love is what it's all about. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Keep on lifting up. Keep on, lend a helping hand. We can't solve every problem. We can try to understand. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Someday we'll get there and dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Good to see you, Pete. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. One more time with that verse. That's good. That verse, basically, the words of John Lewis. Do not get lost in the sea of despair. Be hopeful, optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, of a week, of a month, or a year. Our struggle is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise, to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble. And he was talking about peaceful protest. he was talking about standing up and speaking out against hatred and racism, standing out against the abuse of the poor, standing up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Someday we'll get there and dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. That's right, we got to keep working towards a better day because we haven't gotten there yet. Got to keep getting involved. You people got to get involved. I hope everybody here in Santa Monica gets involved in signing this petition to build affordable housing on 25% of the land at the Santa Monica airport. That we need to get that on the ballot this November and get it passed. That would be a beautiful thing. And also, let's all get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 here in California. Sign the petition and let's vote that in and tell everybody who's running in the state of California, if you want our vote, you better get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Because we want to work towards a better day. We want to make sure that we stand up for human rights. When they say, what's the difference between some of these countries around the world and the United States of America? We want them to say they believe in human rights. They believe in the First Amendment rights of every human being in the United States of America. And they believe in the dignity of human beings. That's what I hope they see. And when they see us here in California, here in Los Angeles County, here in Santa Monica, I want them to see that we believe in human rights and we believe that everybody should have the basics. Decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. We need to spend a lot more money on public education right here in California. We're ranked 20th in spending on public education. That's just in spending on public education. We are ranked 20th. We are ranked around 40th in the outcome of our public education here. There's no reason for 90% of our young students of color going to only 40% of the schools here in California. That's segregation. We have to keep integrating our society and keep standing up for the rights of everybody to have a good public education. So tell your leaders, let's keep moving forward. Keep getting through. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. And don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of our love. Walk on through the wind. Walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Peace and love.